Now, in the last video, we saw how we could create countries, and we were able to add it to the list of menus for the admin. So if you click on the countries table, you'll see our list of beautiful countries in the world. All right, we'll be able to add new countries and delete. Now, in this video, we were faced with a new problem. For instance, if we click on the beautiful country of Nigeria, where I am right now, on 161, this is Nigeria. It doesn't give me any other details. All it just gives me is Nigeria and the country code. It doesn't give me the list of users that are in this country, the list of posts that are made from this country, and so on and so forth. Now, I know in your website or in our job site that we're building, we will need to know how many users come from Nigeria, for instance. Otherwise, there's no point having the list of countries if we can get further details, if we can drill down and get further details of the country. So what we're going to do is to actually do the drilling and get a list of users. Now that ushers us into a different aspect of this whole tutorial, where we have to look at database relationships. I believe if you already know some PHP, you already understand some relational database relationships, but just for the benefit of doubt, I will just touch a little aspect of it that we'll be using in this course. You can just Google relational database relationship tutorial and read up on it, or you understand. So raw PHP leverages on different ORMs. ORM is object relational model. It is, instead of just writing normal SQL, they have written a wrapper around SQL so that you can just write database queries more easily, like we did in our controllers. If we go to any of our controllers, like the post controller, instead of where we are finding, we're selecting all posts. Here we're selecting all posts. Now, instead of writing the SQL query of select all posts from post table and do the connection to the database and everything, this ORM just helps us. And the ORM that I'm using here is Laravel, although you can just use CakePHP here too directly. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to read up on Laravel ORM. It is important that you just glance through it at this point in this course so that you can have an idea of how to write yours, or how I was able to write this code. All right. So to do that, you have to visit Laravel website, just laravel.com, docs 5.4, and you click on Eloquent ORM, and then you have the full details here. Now, the topic we'll cover here is relationships, but if you click on Getting Started on the Eloquent ORM, it will load, and here we are. This, you just read it like a book the first time you're doing that. You don't need all this, and we're looking for how it relates to us. This is the model. As you can see, the model is identical to what we have here in the model because we decided to use Laravel ORM. If you go to any of our models like post, you see that it's very identical. We imported the namespace and we created a class, and we have all this, the table name, which is exactly what we have here. So whatever works here will work for you. And then except for this PHP artisan commands, they are not necessary, but from here whatever works will work for you. And of course we import this, and then we mention the table name, then the whole thing about primary keys, and I've taught you in the past video of how to set timestamps to false, and then you can adjust date formats, and then a whole lot of things. You can retrieve models. So this basically drills you down on a whole lot of things about how to use Laravel ORM. Okay, then CakePHP has an ORM too. If you prefer CakePHP, personally I prefer CakePHP ORM. So on CakePHP 3.0, raw PHP permits you to use CakePHP 3.0 ORM. So you basically search for ORM. This is CakePHP book. So if you go to cakephp.org 3.0 en and index.html, or you just visit cakephp.org, click on book, it opens this. So I'll control ORM. So this is it, the ORM topic. So it works perfectly, and of course, as you can see, anywhere you want to use it, you have to copy this in a controller. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, you have to copy this in your controller, make sure it's at the top of your model, like I said, or your controller. As you can see, in raw PHP, every of your model, it is commented out, so you can just enable it, and then of course you instantly have access to raw PHP, CakePHP ORM. So back to the website, you just copy this, put at the top of your model, and you're good to go. Inside your controllers, you can now do this to get list of articles. So this is CakePHP's way of getting list of articles. If you copy this, and then if we go to our controller, any of our controllers, like countries controller, of course, this countries controller, and if you want to use CakePHP, this is the index. You can just get the list of countries by just doing stuff like this. And so on. So depending on which one you want to use, you can just use any of their ORM. Just read it down and start using it directly in your code. Alright, so this is CakePHP's ORM. I personally prefer it to Laravel's ORM. So it depends on which one that comes handy to you. Alright, in the next video, we will look at relationship, just a little demonstration of relationships before we will now implement what we wanted to do, which is list the number of users that come from Nigeria.